What's up, everyone? Joel is here, and welcome back to another webisode on the Jay Vice Show. So today we're gonna talk more about these riots. This is gonna be part two in this shit because this is just crazy. This is getting out of hand, and we're moving into night four. No, not sorry, night five. We're moving into night five and everything because the time difference over there. I think like 3 hours behind us or whatever like that. So yeah, so a couple more hours ago over there before they start this shit again and everything because it seems like that's the time when they love to like do all the crazy shit and looting and all that shit. What does that have to do with protesting? Like I don't understand what's going on in California right now. This is just it's just a mess and everything. So I wanted to talk a little bit more and like cover some more, I should say, touch down on some more of what's going on over there because in the first part I really didn't like I didn't. There's a lot of other things I didn't know about yet, but some of the things I kind of like figured out and that's number one is that is being funded by somebody. Like somebody is the one who's in control of this, or some people. Whoever. I feel like I already know who it is. I'm not feel like, but I know who it is. They're the Democrats. We all know the Democrats, as I call them, and everything like that. They're the ones who's causing all this shit with them, and they're the little socialist buddies and shit like that. The communist buddies who all have those crazy type of Marxist beliefs and shit like that. And these are the type of people that are funding this and and paying these people to go out there and do all this shit, and to attack police officers, federal agents, or whatever like that, destroy their cars, burning their cars down, throwing bricks at them, throwing bricks off of freeways onto the police cars on the bottom. Like, it's just crazy what's going on over there. On top of that, like I said, with the looting going on, which they started, I think it started last night actually, night four, and everything. It's just crazy. Like I saw the videos on Twitter and also here on YouTube. I saw with Fox News uploaded with people like breaking into the Adidas store and stealing shit. Yeah, it was only a matter of time. It's only a matter of time before these freaking low life degenerates do that shit. Of course, there's always a close they go for that and the phones. So I'm guessing maybe tonight for night five is gonna be the Apple stores. I don't know, but it's just crazy what's going on now, in this country, and a lot of things needs to be changed. A lot of things. We know that President Trump has mentioned that. People around him, his administration, has mentioned that. A lot of people I know have mentioned that. All over, everyone's talking about it. Even other countries as well. Like things needs to change here and everything like that. Like I'm all for, yes, you can protest or whatever like that. You can peacefully protest. That's legal. There's no problems with that. But to cause violence and everything, and then you have this party, of idiots, freaking Democrats that's promoting it, and funding it, and giving them, pretty much you have these people supplying them with these stuff, giving them bags and shit like that with like, things to throw at the police, these Molotovs and fireworks, all this shit, fire, whatever they're using, flashbangs and all that shit, and giving them like the mask or whatever, so that way it could protect them against like the tear gas and all that other shit. So yeah, so who do you think is who's funding this? Who's giving that person to supply them with? Obviously, the Democrats. We all know who it is and everything like that. And I feel like things not gonna change as long as they have that power where they cannot be arrested or whatever like that, cannot be just freaking thrown in prison to rot or deported because a lot of like immigrants as well that's in these has these seats or whatever like that in Congress that are Democrats of course, and they're pushing for this shit too because these people you can't get away with that shit in your country, but then you want to bring it over here to like bring your third world beliefs over here and shit like that, and then cause havoc in this country for the for all of us, which is wrong. Like I said already in my first video, and also what I said to my friend, everything like that. It makes me not like it here. Like it really does make me hate this country honestly. I mean, I like it, of course. I feel like I said in my first part, I feel like Trump is doing a good job. I know he just came in. It hasn't been that long yet, so there's a lot he has to do. Biden left a lot of mess for him, so I know it's not something that's gonna be cleared up, over the night. But I feel like like the people in this country, especially like with all these people who coming in here, these illegal aliens, and not even like the illegal aliens, the people, the family that came and immigrated here, whatever, and have kids here and everything like that. I feel like with the whole like this whole Western ideology, whatever, type of American way, like really like poisoned this new generation, everything like that, and made everyone out to be degenerates and shit like that, and no one has freaking lives. All these freaking kids now and young adults, not only kids, young adults too, people my age too, that still act immature and everything like that. They rather just do bullshit, and be on TikTok and and all that crap, like that shit is just poison. It's brain rot. A lot of people agree with that. That shit is brain rot, and like it's wrong. It's just crazy. Like I don't know what to say, man. Like I don't know what to say with this country now, and like I said, it's just not looking good. Like because there's way too much freedom these people have, and that's the reason why they can get away with this stuff. Way too much freedom, and way too much they know. These type of laws will protect them and shit like that. That's why I feel like things need to be changed. Some laws need to be changed, rewritten, or whatever like that. And like Democrats should be no more. Like that party should be no more because if they're gonna continue being a party of like hate, and discrimination, want to start a civil war, love to support, foreigners and shit like that, people who's not supposed to be here, and that's the ones they're supporting and stopping the president from doing his job and the people around him, his administration from doing the job, then we don't need those people here, they want to need those people in power, I should say, and then just be able to jail them, throw them in prison and shit like that, so that's what I believe in everything that needs to be changed. Is this is messed up. This is really crazy. Another thing I just forgot that just popped in my head I wanted to mention as well is when it comes to a lot of these different what's it social media platforms. I said social media, but social media platforms and everything like that, where a lot of these people like these liberals and shit will like pretty much like collaborate and everything like that, like get together I should say, like they're kind of like the safe haven, the HQ, whatever, where they can plan out this stuff. And two places in mind that I know of. One specifically, definitely I know I should say because I have it, and that's Reddit. And I have seen it, like people talking about it and shit. And what was it yesterday? I think I saw it. It passed me. I don't follow those type of like threads or whatever on there, but it was there. Like I guess because since that's a top trending thing, that's what's going on. What's going on. Millions of people are talking about it, watching it. That's why it was there. And I've seen this stuff, this thing they're talking about in there. I'm like, yeah, this is a definitely a place where the Trump administration should definitely investigate and shit like that with Reddit. Another one is Blue Sky, which is like a bootleg Twitter, but it's for liberals and shit, and to get together and all that crap. And that's another one. I don't have it. Definitely, definitely don't. Definitely don't have it. Definitely don't want it. That's another place they need to look into. And third, and what would be the third one actually? Oh, TikTok. So yeah, so Reddit, Blue Sky, and TikTok. So I use Reddit a lot for like when it comes to like getting information about like with like video games and stuff like that, and like with phones and stuff like that, and sometimes with like planting like garden and shit like that. But I don't use it for that stuff, but they use it for that stuff, which I honestly didn't know that, but they use that stuff, and a lot of liberals they get together and on Reddit and and talk about this stuff, and it's just not good. It's definitely something that should be looked into, especially them, Blues, and all three of them actually, not like especially them, but all three. All three, should definitely be looked into because this is that's to me that's dangerous, because they can plan out whatever dangerous shit they're gonna do, and and then carry out the plans and stuff like that, and yeah, that's something that needs to be looked into. So like I said, like other countries, they can't do that shit. You think they could do that shit in DR and Dominican Republic? Hell no. Like they do that shit over there, they would have thought a lot of them would have been dead. Should have been shot and killed with the police over there, and then the rest of them in prison and shit like that. They don't play that shit over there. And they walk around with shotguns and shit on the streets. So over there, I know, I definitely know that. And listen, I've been there twice, and I have family there, so I know. But it's crazy, like Russia, China, those places. You think they can do that shit? Cuba, you think they could do that? Like no, you know. And it's sad. It's sad what's going on now. And before, the Democrats they never used to be like this, And I'm just really upset. They're really just pissed off seeing this stuff, and it's like we're back to this crap again, and it's crazy because just like what I said in the last part and everything, and also like what my mom said, and also what I heard people saying on the news, is like it's definitely playing out because if you think about it, last 4 years, 4 years ago, I mean, it was the George Floyd riots, and now look what's going on now, and it's crazy because that one was in the summer and this one is in the summer. So yeah, put that together, guys. Put that together. Put all the pieces together, the puzzle. Like definitely planned out. Definitely all planned out. They had this planned out. They know when they was gonna get ready to do this shit and everything like that. And it's all funded by Democrats. So yeah, like there's some evil ass people and like like what's his name, Governor Newsom and the other lady, the mayor, and all these other Democrats coming out talking all this shit, making it seem like Trump's the problem or he's at fault. It's his reason why they're doing this, why they're protesting. Like really? Are you serious? So you guys have nothing like you guys have no blame at all. Like you know you guys didn't do anything wrong. I should say. Like you put on the blame on Trump, which is crazy because all these Democrats, all these freaking liberals out there and everything, from the politicians to just the people here and everything like that, they all have TDS. You know, all have that Trump deranged syndrome. Everything is Trump this, Trump that, Trump's fault for this, Trump's fault for that. You know, and it's like, come on, like when you guys ever gonna like be like held like be held accountable for your shit. You know, be like just be a man or whatever like that and stand up. You know, and then and admit to what you did. You know, with the problem of the shit that you guys caused. Especially when it comes to Democrats, the shit that you people caused. You know, since 2020 and causing this whole division between us in this country and shit like that, wanting to start a civil war and all that shit. You know, you guys are to blame. You know, and it's crazy. So it's sad because a lot of these freaking idiots out there that's doing this shit, whatever, can't wake up. You know, they're gonna stay asleep, continue like being woke and misinformed or whatever, brainwashed by the Democrats, and you can continue doing this shit. You know, but not me. Wide awake, I do my research. I know what I'm talking about, and can't fool me with that. You know, and definitely can't bribe me with money either. You know, so they're paying a lot of these people to go out there and do this shit, and that's wrong. You know, like love my Mexican people, but definitely not those. Those no, and I'm pretty sure a lot of them probably at home don't claim them either. You know, so I don't understand because another thing real quick just popped in my head is like they're waving flags of other countries, the countries that they don't want to go to or go back to, and that's the country that's the flags you waving here, in this country and burning the American flag. Like, what else country you think? What else country can you do that? Like really, like what else country can you do that? Where can you burn the American flag or whatever like that? And get away. I mean, burn the country's flag and get away with that. What else country can you do that shit at? Nowhere else that I can think of but here. So it's sad. It's really sad what's going on, and this really pisses me off. Pisses me off. So we gotta make a lot of changes to the laws and shit in this country, and yeah, and that's that. So I don't know. A lot of people was gonna agree with me on that, be pissed off at what I have to say, but it's what it is, and that's what I've always been doing on this channel. Just always been doing that on this channel. So and I always face criticism for it. People's always been pissed off. Lost a lot of friends in the past for the things I say, but it is what it is. I don't care because this is some serious shit. This is something that needs to be addressed. Let it all out. I got to talk about this, and hopefully things can change. Hopefully my voice people can be heard, but I know it's not. I'm not getting a million views on here. I'm not a big channel like other channels. My channel is really it's small now. Before I used to get a lot of views on here and stuff like that, but not anymore. Mm-hmm. So, but it is what it is. But whoever wants to listen to this, then you know take it into consideration or whatever like that. And think it through. Think what I said because, like I said, it's just messed up what's going on now, and I don't like it in this country, and this really pisses me off, and it makes me think to myself. And I even told my friend this. I'm like, yeah, really. If I had money, I would have just moved. Would have just moved away from here, from this country, and then until things just, I guess, get better. I don't know when they'll get better. Like I said, as long as the Democrats have some sort of power, it's not gonna get better, honestly. And that's that. But it's just sad because this whole generation is just a mess now. Like back then, it wasn't like this. It wasn't like this, and this generation is just like they're fucked. It's over. Especially with what you're seeing, like these riots and like breaking, like looting stores and shit like that. So obviously, you guys know what's on these people's minds: clothes and expensive clothes, expensive phones, and everything like that. So it's sad. But yeah, I think that's it. think that's it I have to talk about. So I don't. There's not gonna be a part three. I don't think there is. But if I have anything else I want to talk about in the coming weeks, anything different to talk about, then I'll talk about it. But it's probably gonna be the same shit anyways for the rest of this week. But as long as I just wanted to see like things get under control and some more arrests being made because they're not making enough arrests. I know the Marines are there now. How Trump has deployed, I think it was 500 Marines, or was it 700? One of those numbers that he deployed everything yesterday. So I don't know. Let's see what's gonna happen over there. We're gonna see what happens tonight over there in California and all that. Sad because before it used to be I would say a country because that's what it feels like. Feels like some damn like communist country over there. But I always wanted to visit there back then. Like I always wanted to go to back then when I was one of those people from that alphabet community. I always wanted to go to San Francisco or whatever like that, and not anymore. Definitely not. Los Angeles was never in my mind honestly. The only other place I was interested in it was San Diego over there. So yeah. So I guess when things change and get rid of this governor and shit like that, and turn the state from blue to red, then maybe I might go there one day. But definitely not right now. You know, and also, I forgot to mention as well the sanctuary city laws and all that shit too. They need to abolish it. They need to abolish that shit too, because that's what's protecting these illegal aliens in these states, and that's the reason why they're hiding out in these specific states, like there and here and everything in New York, here in New York City, stuff like that. But they can't play that shit in Florida because I heard DeSantis over there has been like deporting them like crazy, and they can't do shit about it. They're not a sanctuary city, and he should be able to do his job. Like he has power for a reason, right? So you should be able to do what what you're able to do. So what your powers allow you to do. So just like how it should be with Trump, it shouldn't be these fools in his way and trying to stop him from doing his job or whatever, for his administration from doing the job, I should say, and getting rid of these illegal aliens, now criminals. The criminals that they're going after, they're getting rid of and everything like that. Like the murderers, rapists, and all this shit. And these are the type of people that they're protecting. Like like it's crazy, crazy. But anyways, I'm done. Like talking more about this, just thinking about this pisses me off and just gets me angry. So I'm just not happy with it. And another thing too, real quick, real quick before I end this, God no, I just said I was gonna be finished, but it's crazy because with that party, those people, it's always about like hate and violence, and they always like angry and always want to like yell and curse or fight you, whatever like that, and all this stuff. So that just goes to show like which party's the problems. Definitely not the Republicans. I can tell you that much. They're the ones because kid you not, if I was to say this, in the streets around the type of people, they go want to fight me or whatever like that. So yeah, so they're all about violence. They're not peaceful people. Not peaceful people. They're sick in the heads. They all got like some mental problems and shit like that. And yeah, things just need to change. That's all I gotta say. Start arresting these assholes and these damn politicians as well, and then things will start getting better here. So that's what they need to do. Like take example from a lot of these other countries that are strict and don't play that shit. And even in their own home countries and shit, they can't do that stuff. Then they can ride in Mexico and do that. Ride and steal and all that. Like hell, they can't do that shit over there. They can't do that in Colombia, what's it, Guatemala, Honduras, all the places they can't do that shit. But yeah, but anyways, now I'm done. Now I'm done. But yeah, so whoever's watching this or whatever like that, small few that's watching this is, let me know. Comment section down below and let me think what you guys think of what's been going on. And that's that. That's that because yeah, like this country's a mess. And these people are really turning into a third world country. That's all I gotta say. But yeah, but that's it, guys. That's it. I'm done. But I hope you guys enjoyed. I'll see you guys next time for another webisode on the J Vice Show. Peace.